It's the most wonderful time of the year, and that is diet season. Yes, January has rolled around once again, and it is time to make a body composition change through your nutrition. So happy for you, so excited for you. I have 3 tips that are going to make the dieting process a lot simpler. It may not be easier, but it's going to be a lot simpler. So without any further ado, let's get into tip number 1. Tip number 1 is to set an end point. One of the biggest problems that I see with new people when they start a diet is just saying, I'm on a diet, and there's no end point. When we are dieting, when we are putting our body in a caloric deficit, there comes a point in time when the body is going to start to reject that caloric deficit, for lack of a better word. Basically, all you need to know is the body needs calories to survive, and if you continue to take calories away, which is what you're going to need to do to continue to see weight loss, the body's going to start to reject that. You're going to start to feel overly tired all the time. Your hormones may be affected by this. You're just going to feel terrible. Your lifts in the gym are going to start to feel bad. You need to create an end point for your diet. If you have a ton of weight to lose, it may mean that you're going to have to do that in phases, because you are going to start to run into a wall with your weight loss if you are perpetually dieting. The body's just not going to handle that well. So if you have 100 pounds to lose, congrats to you, get on your journey, but you may need to do that in 25-pound increments, whatever works best for you, with maintenance phases in between. My personal experience, I had to lose about 70 pounds. It took me 2 years. I ran into problems with my weight loss, had to come off of deficits, had to get onto maintenance, and then get back onto another deficit. Nothing wrong with that. Hopefully you have a ton of time ahead of you and you'll be able to make the body composition change that you want to. As you begin the diet, also have an end point so that you know how long you are going to be in a calorie deficit to set yourself up for the most success losing weight. All right, tip number 2, and this may ruffle a couple feathers, but this is just my personal experience with dieting and coaching people through dieting, and that is, do not revolutionize the way that you eat, especially at the start. Now, I can already hear you in the comments. Don't revolutionize the way that I eat, but I'm in this situation because of the way that I eat. I understand that we are going to have to change some of our eating habits. Obviously, we're going to have to get ourselves into a calorie deficit, but what I mean by revolutionize is if you are used to eating carbs, maybe at the start of your diet, you shouldn't flip that completely on its head and say, I'm going full keto, baby. Paleo is all the way. I'm never going to touch a piece of bread again in my life. That can put a little bit of extra stress on your mentality because you're already getting into a calorie deficit. If you are in a calorie deficit, you don't need to also change all of the food choices that you are making. I find that that can be a little bit too aggressive, especially at the start of a diet. If we're 4 weeks in and we're not experiencing the changes that we want to experience, and maybe you think that you would succeed better with a separate style of dieting, intermittent fasting, keto, carnivore, then go ahead and experiment with that for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Counter to popular belief, there is no one best diet for you to lose weight. It is very individual. You have to do what you enjoy so that you can experience longevity. For me, I love to be able to feel strong in the gym, and so lower carb diets don't really work very well for me. I work better just kind of reducing portion sizes with the food that I have already been eating on a maintenance or massing phase. This may be the way for you, or it may be that you need something so revolutionary and so different that you can tell yourself that you're in dieting mode. That may mean completely switching all of your food choices. You have to do some experimentation and find out what works best for you. All right, before tip number 3, YouTube wants me to do these calls to action, and so the calls to action will come. If you are enjoying this content, please share it around. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you as part of the Black Bear Barbell family. Our third and final tip of the day is to build in a maintenance phase as part of your diet. This tip comes straight from personal experience. I am a champion at losing weight or gaining weight, and I am absolutely horrible at maintaining weight at a certain point. I don't know what it is. I think my mentality shifts after I get done with a diet, with a cutting phase or a massing phase, and I say, you know what? Throw all the reins off. We're going buck wild. Maintenance phases are so incredibly important to the dieting process, especially if you're a physique or strength athlete, because allowing your body to reset, for lack of a more scientific phrase, at a certain set weight is incredibly important. 4 to 8 weeks of a maintenance phase after a cutting phase or even a massing phase can be so beneficial for you, not just physically, but also mentally. So if we take tip number 1 and tip number 3 and put them together, a diet and maintenance phase may look like this. We start with a 12-week diet. We've set a solid endpoint at 12 weeks. We want to lose 1 pound per week. Perfect. Now, we go all the way down, we finish our 12-week deficit phase, and now we're switching back to maintenance. So we're going to reverse diet for the first week. We're gonna add calories back very slowly, maybe 200 here, 300 the next day, until we reach a point where we estimate our maintenance is. Now we need to weigh ourselves to make sure that we're not bumping our weight back up. There's gonna be a little bump in water weight, totally normal, plus or minus 2 to 3 pounds, all good. We wanna sit at that maintenance for half of what the diet was. So if we dieted for 12 weeks, then our maintenance phase needs to be at least 6 weeks long. This gives us time to reset both physically and mentally so that our next phase, whether it be another deficit or a massing phase, or you want to just stay on maintenance, can be done with the most success. So those are my 3 favorite tips for starting out a diet. If you need a little bit of extra help, I do offer one-on-one online personal training and nutrition coaching. You can go ahead and click the link in my bio to apply for that. We'd love to get you going, give you a little bit more help past these 3 tips. I hope you enjoyed this video, friends. Thanks for coming along on this journey. Get strong and stay strong. I will see you in the next one. Peace.